Hey, guess what, Mr. Martin?
What's up, Mr. Allen?
It's MCAS time!
MCAS.
What do you mean? This is so exciting, Mr. Martin. It's so exciting. You're not excited?
Not excited.
Well, you know what? It's only 1 day per test this year.
Yo, that's great news!
Yeah, that's a lot better, right? So,
Yeah.
there's some goodness here. You know what, kids? MCAS time is upon us. And this testing is extremely important. Couple things we want you to know. First, it helps us decide what classes you get next year. So it's really important that you work very hard on MCAS because it helps drive the schedule that you get next year. Second, if you're in 7th or 8th grade, we send these scores later on up to the high school with you. So you want to make sure you show the high school what you know because it's going to help you get into the classes you want in the high school as well. And lastly, it lets us know what we need to teach better. If we see you struggling, we know that we need to teach something better. So do your best so that if parts that don't go well, we know what we need to improve.
That makes a lot of sense. Listen, you know what? Every year our students work so hard on this test. You guys work so hard.
They do.
And you know what happens when you do that? You make us proud. You make your teachers proud. And I have no doubt that this is going to happen again this year. You're going to work hard, you're going to feel good about it, and you're going to make us proud.
Ready for some tips?
I love some tips.
There's some tips. Tried and tested.
Tried and tested tips.
Tips for MCAS.
Coming at you.
Number 1, get a good night's sleep before the test. My daughter had MCAS today. I said, go to bed early. Go to bed early. And I said, get up. We got to get you a good breakfast. You need to have a good breakfast before you take MCAS.
You got to read all of the questions very carefully. In order for you to answer a question, you got to know what that question is asking of you. So make sure that you read your questions very carefully and multiple times, because sometimes they're going to try and trick you. If you are having trouble using the online testing tools, raise your hand and your teacher can help you. Your teachers are there to help you.
So if you're like, I don't know how to highlight, your teacher can come help you. If you're like, I don't know which one is the fraction bar, your teacher can come help you. They, of course, can't help you with the question, but they can help you find the tool in the online testing platform. Also, remember that there is a limit on the ELA test and on how much you can write. So as you're typing your responses, you'll see a little counter counting down how many more characters you get. So just keep an eye on it because you want to make sure you get everything down within that limit. Also, your scratch paper is your best friend.
I love scratch paper.
It is the best. It allows you to do so much thinking before you go into responding. You can use your scratch paper for your math problems. You can use it to create your own graphic organizer to help your ELA writing. You can use it to draw models for math and for science. There's so many things you can do on your scratch paper. You want to make sure you use it. You also can use it to check your work. Do the problem a second time on your scratch paper. Do it a different way. That is a great way to use your scratch paper to get yourself the best score you can.
You know what, Mr. Allen? I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. I'm changing the term officially from here on out. Scratch paper is no longer going to be called scratch paper. You know what it's going to be called?
What's it going to be called?
Success paper.
Success paper. Use your success paper and you can get more. If you need more success paper, the teacher will give you more success paper.
Just handing out success papers. Handing out success paper for success. You know one thing that I love? Not just success paper. You know another thing that I love?
What? What's that, Mr.
Highlighters.
Yes.
Highlighters. I love highlighters. But students right now might be asking themselves, hey, Mr. Martin, Mr. Allen, if I'm using a computer, how am I supposed to highlight stuff? Good news, guys. We got the highlighting tool for you. It's right there. Make sure that you use the highlighting tool to help you better understand the passages and questions. And, guys, this goes without saying. Take your time. It's not a race. Take your time with the text. Take your time with the test. Make sure that you are giving ample time so that you really understand what it is that you're reading, so that you really understand what it is that you're writing, so that you really understand what the questions are being asked of you, what it is that you have to do. Take your time to show off what you know.
Also, the day of testing, you are not allowed to have a cell phone on you or a smartwatch on you during the testing. That is a statewide requirement. So you will have to turn your cell phones in at the front of the class. You can turn them off or you can at least silence them, of course. And then at the end of everybody testing, you'll get them right back. Teachers will have a space where you can put them so that not everyone has to touch everybody's stuff. And then you'll get it back at the end of testing. But please, if you don't turn it in, we could end up having to report to the state that you had it on you. We don't want to do that. It's so much paperwork. It's so annoying and it's a big pressure situation. So it's very simple. We all have them. When we start the MCAS test, we're putting them where the teacher says to put them. We'll get them back when everybody's done testing.
So here's what's going to happen the day of. You're going to be in one room for the whole morning, and your teachers will tell you what room that you have to go to, so don't worry, you'll know exactly what you need to do. And then after testing ends, you're going to have lunch and then shorten classes. So you know what? An MCAS day sounds like an awesome day. That sounds good to me.
Shortened classes are always nice. You also need to make sure you bring a water bottle with you.
Stay hydrated.
We want you to stay hydrated. You need to have a water bottle with you, just like every day. And you should bring a pencil with you and a book to read when you are finished. That's pretty much all you can do when you finish, is either sit there quietly or read a book. So if you have an independent reading book you're reading, which you should, make sure you bring it with you the day of testing.
Online testers, students at home. So please have your success paper and a pencil ready to go that morning. Your test proctor will be monitoring your screen during testing. So NetOp will be up and running. So make sure that you have NetOp going.
For online testers, your video must be on during the testing. You cannot have your video off. It needs to be on. That's the state requirement. You cannot leave the room. So this is funny. You're at home, right? But if you're on the camera, when you're on the camera taking the test, you can't just leave the room without asking your proctor. We have to follow all the same rules. So if you need to go to the bathroom, you have to say to your proctor, can I use the bathroom? And then they'll let you go. You have to stay on the camera unless you have permission from your test proctor.
You cannot use your cell phone during testing, just like students that are in person. You can't use the cell phone during testing. And the only tabs that you can have open on your screen are the Google Meet that you're going to have and the MCAS test itself. You can't have any other tab or window open.
That is so important. They got to make sure they close those other tabs, Mr. Martin.
Too many tabs just drives you nuts.
Too many tabs. Got to get rid of them. You cannot text. You cannot chat with other students during the testing. You can't be talking to someone at your house. You can't look at any books or notes or anything during your testing. At the end, you're going to have to take your success paper. This is really goofy, right? But you're going to actually have to take your success paper, which here we have to shred the success paper. At home, you're going to have to rip it up in front of your camera, in front of your test proctor. And as much as this seems crazy, if any of these rules aren't followed, we have to notify the State Department of Ed. So please, please, online testers, follow all these rules. Close out your other tabs. Have success paper and a pencil in front of you. Don't be on your cell phone. Don't chat. Ask if you need to go use the bathroom. It won't be that long. We'll get through it. You got this.
Yeah, remote testers, you know what? This is really exciting because never before has this happened. So you are the inaugural group of MCAS remote testers. I am excited for you. So here are just some general things that are going to happen the day before the MCAS test and the MCAS test. So tomorrow during tutorial, you are going to log on and you're going to go onto the Google Meet of the teacher that you will be testing with on Thursday. And that way you'll just get to know your teacher that will be there just a little bit better. And you'll be able to answer or ask any questions that you might have about what might, the MCAS test might look like, what to expect. They can go over the rules that Mr. Allen and I just did one more time.
So remote testers tomorrow are not going to tutorial. They're going to their remote testing group.
Yeah, they're going to their
Smart
remote
move,
testing.
Mr.
Yeah,
Martin.
just
Smart
to prepare everything, just to make sure that everything is hunky dory. So you'll by now all of you will have received an email notification from me inviting you to a Google Classroom. I've seen that most of you have accepted that invitation. For those of you who haven't, make sure that you do accept that invitation so that you can receive the Google Meet link that you will use during tutorial on Wednesday and during the test itself on Thursday. So on Wednesday, you'll join the link. Your teacher will introduce him or herself, go over everything that will occur on Thursday, answer any questions that you have. They will test out NetOp. And then everything will be great. On Thursday, same thing. You will open up that Google Meet link. And then the morning of testing, you will receive an email from me that gives you the information that you need to take the test. You will have the website that you will need to take the test. You will have your username that you will need to take the test, and you will have your password that you need to take the test. If you log into the Google Meet and you will not have and you haven't received an email from me, tell your test administrator. They will let me know, and then I can get you that information. But expect an email from me on Thursday morning that has all the information for you to be successful on the MCAS test.
Okay, Mr. Martin, you're up next. There's your line.
Yo, listen, guys. No one wakes up totally excited for the MCAS test.
What do you mean? I love these kind of tests. I always thought that they were a personal challenge. I would get fired up. I'd want to beat the test.
Yeah, but most people aren't like you. You know, most people don't love the test.
All right. I know. I understand. But these scores are important. We got to work hard at this. These matter.
You know what? Perseverance. Perseverance. That's the name of the game.
Success paper.
Success
and
paper.
Perseverance. Success paper and perseverance. Listen, everybody. Go slow on the test. Think hard about each question. Give the toughest questions the most attention. Got that? The toughest questions need the most attention. When you get frustrated, take a deep breath and then go back to trying your hardest. Use the highlighter tool. Highlight important information. Make sure you know exactly what the question is asking. You can even highlight within the question. You got to know what the question is asking. Don't be afraid to reread and reread. And
reread?
And reread. That only makes you smarter. And don't care at all if kids around you are done. It is a badge of honor to take as much time as possible in big moments. And this is a big moment. Don't worry about those around you. You worry about you. You take as much time as you need. Taking your time on MCAS is something to be proud of. Proud of.
Listen, Birchland Park Middle School, every time you show us why you are exactly what we say that you are, and you're gonna do it again. So listen, you've got this, Birchland Park, and on Thursday, you are going to prove why you are the best middle school on the World Wide Web and in person.
Go get them!